I'm Peter Boita, and I'm very excited to be with you here today to be able to share a preview of my talk, A Life in Music. I've been a music business professional for over 50 years, and I started as a drummer in the cellar of my parents' home in Streatham. I quickly progressed to being the drummer on Top of the Pops with the Johnny Pearson Orchestra, and very quickly after that I worked for the first 25 years on Les Miserables, working alongside Sir Cameron Mackintosh and contracting the orchestra for him. And this was in between a punishing schedule of recording sessions from 10 to 1, 2 till 5 and sometimes even 6 till 9 at night. And I've worked with some fantastic people. I started off with Max Bygraves, I toured with the Supremes, I worked with people like Dusty Springfield on Top of the Pops, and so many people. In fact, have a little look at my roll call of just some of the artists that I've worked with. I've played the drums on hundreds of hit records. For example, this one by Amy Stewart, Knock on Wood, which I'm sure you know. On this one I played regular drums, Linn drums, which is a computer drum, and also Simmons drums, which are like hard rubber pads that give that fantastic, really heavy electronic drum sound. Have a listen. I also played the drums on another song that you'll know, The Smiths' This Charming Man. In fact, I actually played with a Linn drum computer, but I programmed this drum computer to make it sound like a real player. It's not uncommon for groups to hire inexperienced session men when they are in their early stages of forming up to make sure that their first record is really tight. This also happened on the Beatles' Love Me Do. A good session player colleague of mine actually stood in place of Ringo on the recording, just like I did for the drummer in the Smiths. Have a little listen. I was tremendously excited when I landed the job as drummer on Top of the Pops. This was a dream come true for me because I'd always wanted to play great pop music with the original artists. So I was backing everyone from Rod Stewart, Dusty Springfield, 3 Degrees, you name it, I backed them. Have a look at some of this. I've got so many stories to share with you, but my particular favourite from the Top of the Pops days is this one. Well, after the show we would always go up to the bar in Television Centre and have a drink with the DJs and the artists and the technical crew, etc, etc. And there was one guy there called Eric Hall, who was a record plugger, and he was quite mad. In fact, we used to nickname him Dagenham because he was 3 stops after Barking. Anyway, so he had this massive budget from the record company, so he's buying drinks left, right and centre, large one here, small one there, you know, pint of this, all that kind of stuff going on. And he was racking up a hell of a bar bill at this point. So Cliff Richard, after a couple of red wines, lovely guy Cliff, gets up on the table and says, "Hold it everybody, I have to announce, Eric's bar bill's just gone platinum." And in those days, if you got a platinum disc or anything, it meant you'd sold 1 million records. Well, nowadays, of course, you don't have to sell anywhere near that amount to get a platinum disc. Fantastic night. On a more serious note, I did 3 albums with the very great late Sir George Martin. What an honour to be working with such a gentleman, especially when he says, "That's the take." And you know that that's coming from the voice that said all those same words decades before to the fabulous Beatles. I'll be telling you more stories about Sir George and working with him when I see you next time. I'm extremely proud to have been involved in Les Miserables, which I'm sure you'll know is the worldwide smash hit musical, and I worked alongside Sir Cameron Mackintosh from day one. I played drums on the original recordings, and then I contracted the orchestra for Sir Cameron over the first 25 years of the show. What an exciting time and what a privilege to have been involved with it from day one. I've got some amazing day one stories, by the way, and also later ones like the leader of the orchestra and his sunglasses. But all that's for another time. So look, thank you very much for looking at my preview of my talk, A Life in Music, and I look forward to seeing you all in the very near future. Thanks for looking.